Hey polish fans, it's Caroline again and welcome to another video here at Lacquer. In today's video, we are finally doing my Bee's Knees Lacquer haul from the Respawn Palooza that happened back in January. I got my last order a few days ago. I had to let it acclimate to the warmer temperatures inside because we have been having quite the cold spell here recently. And then I organized them by color and swatched them for you guys. So we have quite a lot of polish to go over. I actually still could have gotten quite a lot more from that restock, but a few of the ones that I wanted were really low in numbers that were going to be stocked, and I was trying not to set high expectations about getting any of those, so only 4 of these were from the lower capped items, anything under about 100 bottles, but I was able to grab 25 individual polishes plus 2 from the mystery overpour section, so we're going to look at those and unbox those on camera after all of these. I also got a wax and a lotion, so we have quite a lot to go over. Let's go ahead and jump in. The first polish is one of the ones that was in my 4 low capped items that I grabbed. This first one is Trust Your Gut, and this one, I don't remember what the cap or availability of this one was, but it was fairly low, and I really wanted to grab this one because it combines purple and blue, and I love that combination. This also has a reflective component to it, and this is a very interesting and unique polish. You have this squishy purple base with a load of shifting components in it. You've got those beautiful blue shifting flakies, and then on top of that you have this, I think it's actually like a pink glitter, that micro glitter that is part of the reflective component, I think. And then there's also a silver reflective component. So this one is quite a unique combination, and I love how the flakies look against the rest of the components in this polish. Very unique to my collection. Very, very happy that I was able to grab this one. So here's that one in 3 coats. Really beautiful on the nail. I love how all of the components look mixed together. You've got that purpley base, the flash in that blue that shifts to an aqua. You've got the twinkles from the reflective glitter. Just a really beautiful combination. So that first one is Trust Your Gut. The next one is this one here called High Lady of the Night Court 2.0. This is another one that was on my lower capped items in my very first order that I placed. I did have it in here with my purple polishes, but it does have, by comparison, somewhat of a blue lean to the purple base. You have this beautiful toned polish loaded with flakies. Look at all that. And then you have the shattered holographic flakies, which I absolutely love in polish. The iridescent flakies that are in here shift beautifully from purples to reds to greens, depending on the angle. I think the pink is not really showing up on camera. I think you're mostly seeing that green. But there you go, towards that edge you can see the orange and pink pop up there. So here's that one in 3 coats. This is one that does maintain rather a squishy base, but it is absolutely gorgeous. You could always put this over a matching cream polish to give yourself a boost in opacity, or maybe a blurring base coat. But the twinkles on this one are just gorgeous. The visuals on camera are just not doing this one justice at all. It is absolutely breathtaking. The twinkles from those iridescent flakies, from my angle, I can see all of the different colors. Again, on camera, I feel like you're mainly seeing barely even twinkles of green right there, but there's a lot more colors going on. And of course, you can see those beautiful holographic flakies as well. Just another absolutely gorgeous polish there. So that one was High Lady of the Night Court 2.0. The next polish is this one here called There's My Grumpy Shadow Prince. This one actually has a UP sibling pigment in it. This was one of the later polishes that I grabbed, and I'm really glad that I ended up getting this one. It is this really beautiful deep purple base, and then you have a reflective component and that UP shimmer. This UP shimmer shifts between a green to a blue. It is really gorgeous against this base. And again, I don't feel like most of the shifts are even coming off on camera. You're only kind of seeing that green, but it is really gorgeous. You have those silver reflective glitters as well. I want to say there might even be like a purple reflective glitter in here too. Here it is in 2 coats. This one doesn't have a glossy top coat, so this one you will notice the texture that it dries to. For these reflective glitters, what I have been noticing is when they're on your natural nail, you don't always have to have a glitter smoother in between your polish and your top coat to get it completely smooth. It just sort of depends on the formulation, but this one is absolutely gorgeous. I really love the color. It's somewhere between like a blue and a purple. It just depends on your angle. Here towards the edge of the nail where it's thinner, you can see that purple base. Once it's loaded up over itself, it's a bit more on the blue side, so really beautiful and unique. This one I did only leave at 2 coats. I think it's somewhere between a 2 to 3 coater depending on your nail length, but really gorgeous. Another really pretty polish there. So that one was There's My Grumpy Shadow Prints. Next up is another purple. This one is called Star Witch, and this is another absolutely stunner of a polish. I think this one kind of reminds me of the Puppy People. At least I think that's the one it reminds me of. There's a few polishes in this color family of this berry toned purple base with a shifting shimmer, and this one is really stunning. On camera you're seeing that flash of green, and I think you can see that deeper blue. The deeper blue is what I'm seeing mostly from my angle, and it is really pretty against this purple squishy base. There's also some red that you can see popping up at extreme angles. I think you're mostly able to see it on camera, kind of hiding at that edge of the bottle. Here's that one in 3 coats. This one is just so beautiful on. Look at that shimmer. This one is a squishier polish, so depending on your nail length, you might need a 4th or maybe put this over a blurring base coat to help you reach full opacity. But this one is really gorgeous. I love this combination. I also like that the shimmer particle used is a bit on the larger side. I really like how that ends up looking on the nail. You have that sort of a larger speckled look on the nail. So that one was Star Witch. The next polish I think could have been organized better, but in the bottle it does look like a purple polish. In fact, I thought it would be much more comparable to Star Witch because in the bottle they look pretty similar, but as we're going to see on the nail, it's completely different. The base to this one is actually not purple at all, and this one is For Now, Hopefully Not Forever. This was one of the special releases that they had for their last Respawn event, and this one actually has more of like a smoky berry burgundy base and then loaded with a larger particle glass flex shimmer that is kind of similar to what we were seeing in Star Witch, but it is a bit on the larger side. It also has more of a green front to the shift. So here it is in 3 coats. As you can see on the nail, it is completely different from Star Witch. You have that burgundy berry leaning base there and a much stronger green in that shift, but similar particle size. Again, I really love how that looks on the nail. Absolutely gorgeous. Again, I love the combination. So this was also 3 coats. Again, one of the more squishy formulas. If you have longer nails or a pretty prominent visible nail line, you might want to put this over a blurring base coat, or maybe pick this burgundy shade and put this over 1 coat of that burgundy. But really pretty. So that one was For Now, Hopefully Not Forever. The next polish is the second one that was in that limited release for the Respawn Palooza, and this one is Customer Appreciation 2023, and this is another stunning polish. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is this beautiful purple squishy base, again loaded with some beautiful shifting shimmer. This one again has shifts from green to blue. On camera you're mainly seeing that green, but in person from my angle back here I'm mainly seeing a blue, and I'm pretty sure that there's more shifts to this one as well. It's just going to depend on your lighting situation. Yeah, see there, you can sort of see a pink start to pop up at extreme angles. So here's that one in 3 coats. This one was one of the most squishy formulas that I swatched. You can definitely still see your nail line through this one in 3 coats. I would say if that is something that you want to prevent, definitely use a blurring base coat, or just put this over any shade of purple that you feel matches the base color. But gorgeous shifts in that shimmer, and again, purple being one of my favorite colors, you know I gotta love this one. So there is that one. So that one was Customer Appreciation 2023. The next polish is this one called Sucking Throat Juice Like It's Grey Goose. This one came out in the What We Do in the Shadows 3 collection. This is another one that I put into our purples, but it's actually more of a blue. Sometimes it's really hard to tell in the bottle. You have, again, loads of shifting shimmer, this time in a beautiful red to green to gold. It is one of my favorite shifts to see in polish, and I love it when it's contrasting with the base color. It's just really beautiful. You have this fiery glow against this blurply base in the bottle. Here is that one in 3 coats. This is another one that maintains its squishiness, so if you want this to be more opaque, I definitely suggest a blurring base coat or just putting this over a matching undie. If you want it to look more purple, pair it over a purple. If you want it to look more of a denim-y blue, you could pair it over a blue. But a really gorgeous color here. I mean, look at that intense color. This combination is another absolutely gorgeous one. I feel like I'm going to be repeating myself on that because all of these combinations are just stunning. So that one was Sucking Throat Juice Like It's Grey Goose. The next one is one of our more pinker leaning purples. This one is There's a Cost. This is the 3rd polish that was on my very first order of my very limited available polishes, and this one I'm definitely glad that I got. I mean, I'm glad I got all of them. I don't think there's any polishes that I unboxed and I was like, why did I get this? But this one is more of a pink leaning purple. You then have a very strong shifting shimmer again. This one is that red to green to gold. Absolutely gorgeous. Again, I love the particle size that was used in this one. It's just beautiful against this base. And here it is in 3 coats. This is another one that is fairly sheer. You will need either a blurry base coat underneath it if you want to make this more opaque, or again, match it with a pink leaning orchidy color. Actually, the one from Orly Synthetic Symphony might work very nicely underneath this one. But there it is on the nail. That glow contrasted against this base is just gorgeous. I love that warmth that it adds. What? Yeah, she got a chance to be in here for quite a while before I was filming when I was doing the swatching, and she was very, very chatty, but she hasn't seemed to get it all out of her system. So that was Bee's Knees Lacquer, There's a Cost. The next polish is one of the sheerer shimmer polishes. This one is Only You Can Decide What Breaks You. And this one has a very lightly tinted, like orchidy pink base, and then it is loaded with this shifting shimmer. You're seeing mainly the gold across the face of the bottle. In person, I'm seeing the green, but this does have shifts to like blue that you can sort of see peeking there, and a slightly different shade of yellow that I'm seeing there that might lean a bit orange. Here's that one in 3 coats. This one again is one of the sheerer polishes, so you will need either a blurring base coat underneath this if you don't want it to be sheer on your nails, or perhaps match this as a topper over any color of your choice. This one is going to have a rather ethereal look on the nail. Look at that pink glow there popping. I really like the tone of the base to this one as well. It's a beautiful shade of pink, and then you have that gorgeous shimmer that just bounces right off of it. And like I said, this one I think is going to be a fun one to try as a topper over a bunch of different colors. So that one was Only You Can Decide What Breaks You. The next polish is this one called I Love Pizza So Much, and this was one of the polishes that I was really excited to try to grab. It had came out, I believe, as a mystery polish, and it wasn't one of the ones that I got in the mysteries, so when I found out that it was going to be released in the Respawn Palooza, it was definitely on my wish list. This one is actually kind of hard to describe. The base color is sort of this deep red pink, and then you have a larger particled shimmer that shifts. This one, again, it has completely different colors that I'm seeing on camera than I do in person. On camera, you're seeing that sort of a orange to gold. In person, I'm seeing green speckles, but I'm also seeing shifts to purple. I'm trying to get those to show up. I don't think they're coming across on camera, but I can definitely see like a fuchsia, purple, and even like a blue at this edge. So really loads of different shifts in this one. Here it is in 3 coats. This one is just so unique on the nail. I love the different colors. The tone of the base is really unique. Again, I love to see the larger particle size in the polish. I think it adds a really neat glimmer to the polish. So that one was I Love Pizza So Much. The next one is a flaky polish. This one is We Are the Feared, and this one is such a beautiful polish. You have this deep berry leaning squishy base, loads of these iridescent flakies, and then you have a reflective component in here as well that I believe is green. Yeah, you can see those green twinkles there. Such a unique combination. The flakies on this are fire. They have so many different beautiful warm shifts to them. So here it is in 3 coats. This one I did go ahead and do 3 coats of because I felt like that would help amp up the color. You get a beautiful payoff of the reflective glitters and those gorgeous flakies. Again, this one doesn't have a top coat, so you can see how it dries. But again, the textures on this one I don't think are so extreme that you would need a glitter smoother over this one. You probably would be okay with one coat of a glossy top coat. But another gorgeous combination. I think this was one of my surprise favorites of the bunch. Just a really unique combination again. So that one was We Are the Feared. Now we're getting into some of our neutral colors before we get into a few yellows. This one is called Gluttony, and this is such a unique color. The base of this is, again, kind of hard to describe. I feel like from my angle, I'm seeing it as this really interesting, rusty, brown leaning orange, but on camera it's coming off as sort of a deep tan color with maybe a bit of warmth around the edges. And then what I absolutely loved about this are of course the holographic flakies, but then this amazing shifting shimmer in here. I know. That is really unique to this base. You have a bunch of different colors. Again, I don't know how many of them are going to come across on camera, but you've got this very intense green to aqua at the face of the bottle, at least on camera. Then you've got purple and blue across the edges. In person, I'm seeing like a deep blue where you're seeing the green, and I'm seeing the green here on this side of the bottle, and then I'm seeing like a pink and orange across the edge of the bottle. So again, such a unique combination. I don't have anything else quite like this in my collection. I think this is going to look just beautiful in different lighting situations with all of those shifts. There's some of that purple popping. Just super, super unique. So here's that one in 3 coats. Now I did do 3 coats of this one and the next one because I really wanted the colors to show through clearly on camera, because they are sort of similar, at least in the same color category family of somewhat neutral colors. So here on the nail, I think you can see that sort of an orange lean. Again, such a unique shade. You've got those beautiful holographic flakies just twinkling away, and then that gorgeous shifting shimmer. I think on camera you're mainly seeing that as that green. So that one was Gluttony. And then the next one, we're just going to go ahead and do a bottle shot side by side to see how they look. The next one is called Greed. Now my guess is they came out in the same collection, although I honestly don't remember this collection if it did come out together. So if you know, let's find out. Yeah, Kingdom of the Wicked. So I don't know where I was when these came out, but apparently I wasn't paying attention. So here you can see Greed on the left, Gluttony on the right, and I'm glad to say that they are much more different than I thought that they would be. When I was seeing swatches of them online, I knew that they were sort of in the same family of colors, but they are rather different in person. You have a much redder, almost pinky tone by comparison in Gluttony, whereas Greed is leaning more towards like a grungy, green leaning gold. Greed also has those beautiful holographic flakies, and then again you have this really interesting contrasting shimmer. This one is different in the shifts that it has compared to Gluttony. This one has more of like an electric green to gold. I think you're seeing that as a red, so very, very shifty and glowy polish there. Again, I did do these in 3 coats, although I would say that they fell somewhere between a 2 and 3 coater depending on your nail length and visible nail line. So I think you can see the difference again on the nail. This one has more of a greenish, grungy gold hue to the base. And then that shifting shimmer is a beautiful, strong orangey red there on the nail. Another really interesting one and very unique to my collection. So that one was Greed. Next up is another reflective polish. This one is Goose Will Chomp You Deep. This is another one that has UP sibling pigment in it. And this is one of those colors that when it first released, I hemmed and hawed about whether or not I should get it. I wasn't too sure. And then over the last year or so, maybe even longer than that, I have grabbed a couple reflective orange glitter polishes. Maybe less than a year. I want to say I have at least 2 of them, one from Bee's Lacquer. So I, at the time, wasn't really sure if I needed it. But when they did their Respawn Palooza and this one was available, I decided to go ahead and grab this one. This was actually on my last order of the Respawn Palooza. So I grabbed it while they were still having their sale, and I'm glad that I did. This is a really interesting polish. You have this kind of like a yellow citrine, sort of an orangey yellow color in that base. Then you have the reflective glitters, and then the UP pigment that is going to shift really, really beautifully. This one, I think on camera, you're mainly seeing that as like a greenish aqua, but in person, from my angle, I'm seeing purple. So very, very unique shifts for an orange polish. And you can see all of the beautiful twinkles from those reflective glitters. Here's this one in 3 coats. This is another one that does have a pretty squishy formula, so if you want this to be fully opaque, I would probably wear this over either a blurring base coat or a matching cream. Basically anything that is close to this rusty, citrony, orangey yellow color. Again, I love the shifts in that shimmer, and the reflective components are really neat. This one, again, doesn't have that much texture as far as a reflective glitter polish goes, but a very unique one. Definitely glad that I decided to grab this. So that one was Goose Will Chop You Deep. The next one is the only polish that I got a backup of. This one is Your Golden Trader, and this one I want to say was second to last. This was in my second to last order, and there were still some of these available, so I decided to go ahead and grab it. So this is a yellow polish, which might surprise some of my regulars because I'm always saying that yellows just are my favorite, but the shifting shimmer in this one is dazzling, and it makes such a beautiful topper over other colors. So you have this sort of a peachy yellowish jelly base, and then it is loaded with this gorgeous shifting shimmer. On camera you're seeing that electric aqua to green on top with some purple and blue over here and some very intense gold over here, almost a yellow. In person, I'm seeing a very soft, like deep blue to aqua across the face of the bottle, and the electric yellow over here. So the shifts on this are just amazing and very unique in this base. So this is going to be one of those colors that I have a really fun time playing with over other colors as toppers. Maybe someday I'll work up to making a full mani of this, maybe over a light yellow cream, but it is just beautiful. The shifts in this are just stunning. So here is Your Golden Trader in 3 coats. This one, as you can see, is definitely a squishy formula. You will see visible nail line unless you use something underneath this, but it is just gorgeous. You could put this over any shade of yellow to reach full opacity, or try your favorite blurring base coat. This one actually might look beautiful over a white as well, but that shifting shimmer is just amazing. Love that one. So that was the only one that I got as a backup. That was Your Golden Trader. The next polish is one that I feel like I hear a lot of people talking about, or heard a lot of people talking about, and I just hadn't grabbed it for whatever reason. And this one is Did You Just Punch Me in the Boob? And this one is from Haunting of Hill House 3rd anniversary. And this is a pretty interesting polish. Again, really unique to my collection. I feel like on camera it's just not doing this one justice. It's coming off as a dull gray with some light gold to maybe orange in the shifting shimmer. But in person, that orangey hue that you're seeing kind of there in the shift is much more prominent in person, especially on the nail. It adds a gorgeous warmth to the nail. This base color is a very interesting kind of a grayish gray, very creamy. This is it in 2 coats. Again, very creamy on this one. I definitely reached full opacity in just the 2 coats. And again, look at that warm glow against this beautiful base. Definitely glad that I was able to grab this one. So that one was Did You Just Punch Me in the Boob? The next polish is sticking with our grays, and this one is the Bleeding Heart. This one I had to grab because if you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that I absolutely love the Lion with a Thorn in Its Paw formula, and this one I feel falls into that same family. You have the holographic flakies and then that beautiful warm shifting shimmer. Look at all the colors. This one has that very strong red to green to gold, possibly even more colors, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And the tone of this is a really beautiful, lightly blue leaning gray. Here it is in 2 coats. This one fell somewhere between a 2 and 3 coater, so I decided to go ahead and leave it at 2 coats. But look at that shift. And those flakies, again, are one of my favorites. I absolutely love those. You have the twinkles from the rainbows and then the beautiful shifting shimmer in this one. Just another absolutely stunning combination. I love this one. So that one was the Bleeding Heart. And then the next polish is another one that I feel like I heard everybody talking about. I hadn't grabbed it before, so I definitely made sure to grab myself a bottle for Respawn Palooza, and that was Everyone Falls in Love with Me Eventually. This one came out in the Resident Evil Village collection. And yeah, I don't know where I was when this came out, if I was just not feeling the grays at the time or what, but this is a very beautiful polish. It is a lot lighter than the Bleeding Heart. By comparison, you can see that it leans much lighter and more of like maybe a silver. There's definitely that smoky blue quality to the Bleeding Heart. And then on this one, you have again the load of holographic flakies. And then what I feel makes this one very special is that shifting shimmer. On camera, you can see that glowing in sort of a purple to fuchsia. In person though, where you're seeing that fuchsia and purple, I'm seeing a very vibrant red to orange. So again, very, very shifty. There you can kind of see the colors that I am seeing in that vibrant red to orange. Just stunning. Cannot say enough about this really unique shift, especially in this polish. So very happy that I ended up grabbing this one as well. Here it is in 3 coats. This is another one that fell somewhere between a 2 and 3 coater, but I decided to do 3 coats so that we could see a better comparison between that one and the Bleeding Heart. I think the 3rd coat on this one really completed the silvery look to the polish. And again, I love the shifts in that shimmer, and the holographic flakies add such beautiful twinkles and rainbows to the nails. Can't wait to see this one outside. I get the feeling that this one is going to shift wonderfully. So that one was Everyone Falls in Love with Me Eventually. The next one is one of our white shimmer polishes, and this is Your Soul Calls to Mine. Now, there was quite a few polishes of this color family that were released for Respawn Palooza, but I decided to limit myself to just the one. This one has shifts of pink to green to gold. I think there's a little bit of orange depending on the angle that you're looking. I probably could have grabbed at least one more, but like I said, I was trying to limit myself and get my wish list together so that it wasn't like a crazy amount of polish to buy all at once. But this is a really beautiful iridescent opal looking polish. Here it is in 3 coats. Look at all the rainbows. So beautiful. And again, you have a slightly larger particled shimmer in here, so you get little tiny speckles of color across the nail as well, and you get beautiful shifts. This is another one that I think is going to look beautiful over other colors. For this being a shimmer polish, I think this one is one of the more opaque polishes. So yeah, really rather impressed with that one. So that one was Your Soul Calls to Mine. And then the last polish on the first wheel, because we did have 25 polishes and my nail wheels only hold 20, is this one called Dreams That Are Answered 2.0. And you guys, look at those flakies. Oh my goodness. This is probably another one that was a surprise favorite. I don't even remember what the swatches looked like necessarily. I just know that I had it on my wish list. I'm sure I saw swatch pictures at the time, but I think a lot of the ones that I ended up grabbing and picking on my wish list, I didn't really maintain an image in my head about what they looked like. I just know I had them on my wish list. And so when I opened up this one, I had my jaw on the floor. This one is absolutely gorgeous. You have these really like mylar effect iridescent flakies. I mean, look at that one. These are those punchy kind that don't really have any sheerness to them. They aren't really a multi-chrome, but they have that mylar effect and they just glow so spectacularly. Then on top of that, you have the squishy white base and then a beautiful glowing shifting shimmer in here. I'm seeing like a very strong blue on camera. You're seeing that as a bit more of an aqua. Just gorgeous, gorgeous polish. Look how big those flakies are. Just wow. So here's that one in just 2 coats. Again, I was rather impressed with the opacity of this one. It's not completely opaque, but I was happy with it in 2. In fact, for this kind of an opalescent polish, I would be fine with just 2 coats on my nails as well. But if you did want this to reach full opacity, I think a 3rd coat would do it. Or you could always just do 2 coats of this over a white base to sort of save your polish. But look at that blue glow and those flakies. Oh my gosh. Just beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. I am definitely happy I had this one on my wish list. So that one was Dreams That Are Answered 2.0. The next one is this one called Prick, and this one is a very light green base, absolutely loaded again with this beautiful shifting shimmer. You're seeing a lot of different colors on camera than I'm seeing in person. So again, on camera, you're seeing kind of an aqua to purple and maybe fuchsia there at the edges. In person, what I'm seeing is purple and blue at the face with some pink and orange on the edges. So again, a lot of shifts going on. The shimmers that Bee's Knees Lacquer used have so many beautiful shifts and faces to them. You can see that pink again popping up there if I can get my camera to have that in focus, but really beautiful combination there again. Here's that one in 3 coats. This is definitely one of the sheerer polishes. As you can see, you still see straight through it. It's another one that I think would make a beautiful topper polish, but if you want this to be fully opaque on your nails, I definitely suggest either a blurring base coat or maybe put this over a matching undie, pull the color of green that you think matches one of your polishes in your collection and put this over it. But the shifts on this shimmer is really, really gorgeous. And again, I think this could make a beautiful topper over a lot of different colors. So that one was Prick. The next polish is called Gwen, and this one has one of my favorite particle sizes of a shifting shimmer, this time in a beautiful shade of blue. The shifts in that shimmer again are showing different on camera than what I'm seeing in person. So on camera you're seeing kind of an electric yellow green. I'm seeing that green as being sort of this aqua, and then I'm seeing speckles of pink. So again, you're going to have beautiful shifts in that shimmer. I think you can see it on camera shift to sort of a gold at certain angles. There you can see that sort of a peachy color shift as well. Here it is in 3 coats. Again, this particle size, I absolutely love it. I think it is just so beautiful. It adds a gorgeous twinkle and shimmer to the nail. This is another one that maintains a pretty sheer look on the nail. So if you want to wear this and have it be opaque, I definitely suggest a blurring base coat or wearing this over a matching undie. For this one, you could do a shade of blue, but the shifts on this are again just absolutely gorgeous. You can see that very strong gold to yellow to green on the nail. So that one was Gwen. The next one is a deeper shade of blue. This one is called Well of Memory, and this is another one that I feel like I heard a lot of people talking about and I didn't have it, so I made sure to grab it. And it's another shade that is just absolutely gorgeous. This tone of blue is deep and rich but bright at the same time. You then have a beautiful larger flaked shimmer particle throughout that is a beautiful like aqua to green, but I'm also seeing purple and orange at the edge, which again I don't think is going to come across on camera, but it is really, really gorgeous. It's one that I think out in sunshine is going to have this beautiful shift to it. Here it is in 3 coats. This one does have a little bit more opacity than these two, but look at that glow. Really, really pretty. And again, the shade of this blue is really gorgeous. So another one, as with all of these, that I'm very happy to have in my collection now. So that one was Well of Memory. The next polish is a fairly recent collection release. I feel like this one is There's a Little Matter of Murder to Attend to. And this one is another one that came out in the Kingdom of the Wicked collection. So did Greed and Gluttony. Okay, so I remember when this one came out. How do I not remember Greed and Gluttony? Anyways, the point is I remember this was on my wish list and I ended up cutting it at some point, somewhere between doing 2 orders. This one didn't make the cut, so I didn't have this one, and I am happy that I ended up grabbing it this time because it is really, really gorgeous. This is another one that falls into that lion sibling polish where you have the base color, the holographic flakies, and then a shifting shimmer. The shifting shimmer on this one is the cooler tones, so you have blues and purples and greens, all in this beautiful sort of a tealy green base. It's absolutely gorgeous. Definitely one that I'm glad I grabbed because I wasn't really missing it when I didn't get it the first time, but in person it is really gorgeous, and the shifts that you're seeing are just amazing in person. Really glad that I ended up grabbing this one. Here it is in 3 coats. I think this is a lot more unique than I gave it credit for on the website images. I figured I had something kind of close to it, but it's just beautiful. I think part of it are those holographic flakies, but the shifts in the shimmer in this one are beautiful as well. So that one was There's a Little Matter of Murder to Attend to. And then the last polish before we get into our mysteries and our wax and lotion is this one called Examine My Massive Dowry. This one originally came out in the What We Do in the Shadows 3 collection, and this is another one, our last one, that was on the first order when the site went live. So this is another one that I felt like I heard everybody talking about. The swatch pictures just blew me away when everyone was posting their images on the Facebook group. So it's one of those ones that I had on my mind ever since it came out, and I'm really happy to finally have it in my collection. This is another one that is really, really unique. You have this somewhat murky leaning green base, and then it is jam-packed full of this warmer shifting shimmer. I mean, look at that glow. Absolutely intense. You have that red to orange. In person, I'm seeing that as this greeny gold. Really unique polish. Here it is in 3 coats. This is another one that I feel like maintains a pretty sheer base to it. So if you want this to be more opaque, I would definitely suggest a blurring base coat or wearing this over a matching undie. Just pull a swampy green or play around with a few different shades of green until you find one that you like. You could try it first as a Skittles mani and then go from there when you decide which color you want to wear it over. But I mean, look at that. Wow. Just beautiful shifts in that shimmer. I cannot get enough of this one. It is beautiful and rather outside my wheelhouse too, with this sort of a grungy green base color, but definitely glad that I grabbed it. So that one was Examine, my massive Dowry. Now we're going to go over the 2 bath and body products, 1 lotion and 1 wax, before we get into our mysteries. So the first one is Mulberry Madness. This is their lotion. This one I would say kind of smells like maybe cranberry. And there's something else in there that I can't quite place. I will say it's a little bit almost too, not quite sweet, but tart maybe for my taste. So I'll have to see how I like this one on. If I use it just lightly as like maybe a cuticle, maybe the scent won't be as strong, but really interesting mix there. That was Mulberry Madness in their lotion. And then I got one of their waxes. This one is Gingerbread Latte. Oh goodness, so this one smells delicious. And actually I just noticed that they've got a little gingerbread man right there. How adorable is that? So the first thing that I noticed was the sprinkles, but I thought that that little gingerbread man was just adorable. And this one definitely has a strong, prominent gingerbread smell, sweet and foodie. This one is amazing. Really happy that I ended up grabbing that one. All right, now we're going to go with the 2 mysteries. These were from the mystery overpours that they had available. You got polish that was previously released in either Polish Pickup, HHC, Phantom Flakies, the Facebook groups, etc. So there's a lot of different places that these could have come from, and I ended up getting 2 of them. I would have loved to get more, but again, these were very limited quantities. They in fact limited it to 2 per person, so I'm happy that I was able to get 2 in the first place. So let's go ahead and see which ones I got. Ooh, so this is a bronzy looking one. This one is He's Relentless in Love. Okay, so this first one I do already have. This one came out in the Multichrome Madness group, and I made sure to snag it when it came out. So this has a beautiful multichrome shift. You've got that beautiful warm, like bronzy orange at the face of the shift, but it does have shifts to like a golden oranginess with some green and blue. It's got a lot of shifts to it. So this one is a gorgeous color, but I don't really need a backup of it. So I think this is going to be going into the D stash, but that one was He is Relentless in Love, the first one from the mysteries. All right, and the second one is this shade of pink called In Good Spirits. Now this one came out in the All the Polishes Facebook group, and I want to say I got at least 1 polish from Bee's Lacquer through the All the Polishes groups, and I don't think it was this one, so I'll have to double check and see if I own this one already. It wasn't in my nail polish app, but I've gotten quite behind in adding polishes that I get to my app, so I really need to get on that so that I'm up to speed with the polishes that I have. But this one is really, really pretty. If I don't have this, we'll definitely be adding it to my collection. If I do already own it, I don't necessarily think I need a backup of it. It'll probably be going in the D stash as well, but it's a really nice shade of pink. And again, it's got that lion with a thorn in its paw formulation where you have the holographic flakies and then a very intense shifting shimmer. This one has that red to green to gold in those shifts. Really beautiful against that base color. Let's go ahead and swatch this one. You guys probably have already seen He's Relentless in Love swatched on my channel. Oh yeah, look at that glow. And again, I'm not too sure if I already have this one or not, but it is really, really gorgeous. And I forgot to do that on camera, but there's a second coat. What I really love about this one, besides the holographic flakies, which you know I just cannot get enough of, is the larger particled shimmer in this one. It just looks beautiful with this color. Very nice combination. So there it is in 2 coats. I think this one falls somewhere between a 2 and a 3 coater. Again, if I don't have it, we'll add that one to the collection. So that last one was in good spirits. All right, so that wraps up my haul from Bee's Knees Lacquer Respawn Palooza. Let me know down below which ones were your favorites of the ones that I got, and let me know how many polishes you ended up with. I ended up with 27 if we include the 2 polishes from the mysteries. And like I said at the beginning, I feel like I could have gotten way more if funds were not an issue, if I had been saving up for it like I feel like I should have. I would have loved to be able to get like every single polish possible, but I am happy for the ones that I was able to grab, especially for the 4 ones that had the lower quantities that were available. I was really happy to be able to grab all 4 of those. As always, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you're new, make sure to hit the little subscribe button down below. That way you don't miss out on any of my new videos, and I will see you in that next one.